The story of Noah is one of the most compelling narratives in the Bible, showing God's judgment on a sinful world and his mercy towards a faithful man. Found in Genesis chapters 6 to 9, Noah's story unfolds in a world that had turned away from God, giving us deep insights into faith, obedience, and God's plan of salvation. According to the Bible, as humanity multiplied on the earth, so did sin. People became increasingly corrupt, violence filled the land, and wickedness overtook almost every heart. Genesis 6:5 describes the situation vividly. The Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. God's heart was grieved by humanity's rebellion, and he determined to judge the world through a great flood that would cleanse the earth of its corruption. But amid this darkness, there was a man who found favor in the eyes of the Lord, Noah. Genesis 6:8 says, "But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord." This is a powerful statement, as it indicates that while God saw humanity's wickedness, he also saw Noah's righteousness and faithfulness. So what set Noah apart? Why did God choose him to undertake such a monumental task as building the ark and preserving life? The Bible describes Noah as a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Genesis 6 verse 9. Noah's relationship with God was genuine. He was different from those around him, not because he was perfect, but because he had a heart that sought to follow God. Noah's life was characterized by obedience, reverence, and a willingness to live in a way that honored God, even when others did not. God's choice of Noah was rooted in Noah's faithfulness and willingness to listen to God in a world that had largely abandoned him. God instructed Noah to build an enormous ark to save his family and pairs of every kind of animal from the coming flood. The ark was a massive structure, approximately 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. It had 3 decks and rooms for the animals, food, and Noah's family. Building the ark was no easy task, especially given the ridicule and disbelief Noah likely faced from those around him. Imagine the doubt and mockery from people who had never seen a flood or understood the concept of rain at such a large scale. Yet Noah persevered. His faith was so strong that he obeyed God's commands without question. Noah's obedience is one of the key reasons God chose him. Despite the challenges, Noah trusted God's word and followed his instructions meticulously. Hebrews 11 verse 7 in the New Testament later commends Noah's faith, saying, "By faith Noah, when warned about things not yet seen, in holy fear built an ark to save his family." This verse highlights that Noah's actions were motivated by faith, not by visible evidence. He trusted God even when he couldn't see the end result, embodying true faith and obedience. As Noah built the ark, he also acted as a preacher of righteousness, 2 Peter 2:5, warning people about the coming judgment. Though the Bible doesn't detail Noah's words to the people, his actions and the construction of the ark would have stood as a visual testimony of God's warning. However, people continued to live in sin and ignored Noah's warnings. Their hearts were hardened, and they mocked Noah instead of repenting. When the ark was completed, God commanded Noah to bring his family and the animals aboard. Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives entered the ark. Animals of every kind, birds, land animals, and creeping things, were brought in pairs as God had instructed. After they entered the ark, God himself shut the door, sealing Noah and his family inside. Then the rain began. For 40 days and 40 nights, the floodwaters poured down from the heavens, covering even the highest mountains. Everything that lived on dry land perished, just as God had warned. But Noah and his family, along with the animals in the ark, were safe. God's judgment on the earth was complete, but his promise to preserve life through Noah's obedience was also fulfilled. After the floodwaters receded, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. Noah waited patiently until the ground was dry before he left the ark, demonstrating his continued obedience to God. Upon exiting, Noah built an altar to the Lord and offered sacrifices, expressing gratitude for God's mercy and deliverance. The Lord was pleased with Noah's sacrifice, and he made a covenant with Noah, promising that he would never again destroy the earth with a flood. As a sign of this covenant, God placed a rainbow in the sky, a symbol of his promise and his mercy. The story of Noah is not just about a man building a boat. It's a profound example of faith, obedience, and God's redemptive plan. Through Noah, God preserved a faithful remnant and demonstrated his desire to save those who seek him. Noah's story reminds us of the importance of living a life that honors God, even when the world around us chooses otherwise. Noah's story also raises an important question. Why did God choose Noah? The answer lies in Noah's unwavering faith and obedience. Noah was willing to stand alone, to obey God's instructions, and to live in a way that set him apart. His relationship with God was genuine, and his actions reflected his faith. In choosing Noah, God showed that he values a heart that seeks him, a life of integrity, and the courage to stand firm in the face of opposition. This story challenges us to reflect on our own lives. Are we willing to follow God's direction, even when it seems difficult or when others do not understand? Are we cultivating a relationship with God that shapes our character and choices? Just as God called Noah to a unique purpose, he calls each of us to live out our faith in a way that can be a light to others. Noah's legacy teaches us that faith and obedience can have a lasting impact, not only on our own lives, but also on future generations. If this story inspired you, there is so much more to explore in the lives of other biblical characters. Each character holds unique lessons of faith, courage, and obedience, and through their lives, we gain insights that are still relevant for us today. If you're interested in diving deeper into these timeless stories, make sure to subscribe to Bible Character Stories. Here, we'll journey together through the Bible, uncovering the rich lessons found in each character's story, whether well-known or lesser known. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us in discovering how the lives of Bible characters can continue to inspire, encourage, and guide us in our own faith journeys today.